Pot Boiler Connect.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What it do?
Dang, we ain't get no intro music. Okay.
Still chasing these manually.
Hey,
Automate
hey,
everything. Go high.
we in the building.
Yes. I
This
missed
not
this.
like them. This high level. Funnels in my palm, whole stack on schedule. If you still
Gotta run down the street on you.
I'm on one dashboard, that flex looks special. Drip too
Yeah.
cold, got the flows on auto. Lease so long, they reply where you want us. Book two
Yeah.
calls for the sun, hit the condo. Campaign tight, whole system
Whole
like
system like Pablo.
CRM clean, got the tags in rows.
What's up? What's up? What it do? What it do? What it do? You know what I'm saying? Today, what we doing? What we doing today, man? We are live. We are in the building. You know what I'm saying? We are doing a nice little podcast today, and today we have a special guest. Our special guest is always our guest host. Well, not guest host, our host. And it just would have been cool if I could have kept the guest thing going. You know what I'm saying? So I wish I would have brought you off camera and then brought you back
I thought
on
you
just
was
the
gonna
same
do
way.
this.
You know what
I
I'm
thought you
saying?
was gonna do it,
I could
but
have brought the audience in for you and everything. You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't
Let
know
me.
why it's not live. Oh, there it is. I see it on Pop Boiler. I don't see it on mine. I mean, yeah. I mean, you can go out and bring me in correctly. I am A-OK.
Yeah, let's do that. Let me bring you out and bring you back in. All right, let's do this. All right. Today, I have a very special guest. My guest today is usually hosting with me, but today we are not. She's going to be leaving her hosting seat and she's going to be getting into the seat of being the guest today. Today we're going to talk about her project that she has coming up, her project that she's been doing. It's really fantastic that we've been working together on this thing. Um, Without further ado, let me bring her to the stage, my Jesna Foster.
Hey, round of applause. Hey,
Hey,
hey, hey.
gotta keep them going, keep them going, keep them going, keep them going. How you doing today, my Jesna? How are you today?
I am good. I am so excited. I'm a little under the weather, but I'm here. So if y'all hear a little few coughs, I'm good to go. But I'm excited. I am very excited. I can't express how excited I am. Um, I'm excited. We've
Good.
been working really hard behind the scenes.
Good. Well, today though, we're not here to be able to talk about all that stuff. We here today. We're here to talk about you. We're here to talk about your accomplishments. We're here to talk about everything that you've been doing, and really talk about the project that you got going on. So, why don't you let's just dive off into what the project that you've been working on, and and how you got started with this.
Yeah, sure. So it has been a long time coming. I'm not gonna lie. Look, y'all, I still do my 1-2 no matter what I'm sharing. Okay. It's been a long time coming. So what I'm doing now is formulating Jaz E Kidz as a nonprofit, bringing awareness to ADHD. For It's so bad that I say ADHD and right away I think authentically dope-hearted dudes and divas, and that is not the acronym. It's attention deficit hyperactivity disorder,
And
but that ain't what we doing over here.
nah, we doing it the
So
way that we doing it the way that you said it. That's the right way to be. That's the proper way to be able to do it. You know what I'm saying?
yes, so we're taking ideas based off Jaquan. For those who you may know or may not know, I am a parent who has a child that was diagnosed with ADHD at a young age. Um, and this has been in the works. We tried to do a store a few years ago. Well, not try. We
Hold
did
up,
one
hold up,
a
hold
few
up.
years
Let's do
ago.
this. Let's back up. Let's back up. All right. So,
Okay.
what is it that you do have going on with the ADHD, and what's going on with that? For us, like, tell us, go step by step how you got started with this and your son, and introducing yourself like that.
Okay.
Yep.
So, how we got started with this? Jaquan has been a kid who's into like superheroes.
Mhm.
So Jaquan was diagnosed at the age of 6 with ADHD. I am a former teacher assistant who worked with kids that had ADHD and autism. And throughout the years of learning about him, I labeled him a superhero early on, and he had pictures of being in that stuff. How we came about to do this, it was based off him wanting a coloring book,
Okay.
and okay, that took me some time to figure out how to make a coloring book. Once we made a coloring book, nope, let me go back. I needed characters because before the characters we used, I found out during the process that I couldn't use those because of where they came from. I reached out to a friend, shout out to Eric Green. He took a picture of Jaquan and created the character that way. So from the characters, his spark of seeing them, like, can you turn it into a coloring book? Okay, we figured that out. Show him the coloring book. Mommy, you think you can come to a color? Can you turn it into a cartoon? So I'm like, okay, let's see what we can do. And then Pop World Media over here do they thug this up. So we
No
got to
doubt.
play around with some things. And this is how it's starting to formulate. So what we're doing now is changing the narrative of ADHD into a positive, but at the same time educating um the children, but more so the adults on how to handle the children.
Yeah.
And
So yeah, so talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Like why is that important to be able to do that? Because um there are a lot of kids with that are struggling with ADHD, but how, why were you concerned about the parents?
as a parent, I if I wasn't in the school system, I probably wouldn't have known how to deal with Jaquan. Still as a parent, there are some things that I didn't know, and it was hard. You have to advocate for them, or else they get swept under the rug. And as a educator, I saw that the way that parents treated some of their children. A lot of times they don't know what to do with them, or they feel like there's something wrong. And as an educator, I looked at their superpower to like even then, it's like, no, you can do whatever it is that you want to do. But a lot of parents, either one, they don't have the time, they don't know where the resources are, or they just don't want to deal with them. You just leave them there going about your business. And it's so much more to them. Do you have to be patient? Yes. Does it take a lot of hard work? Yeah. Is it a lot of redirecting? Yes. But can it get done? Yes, it can. So that's the other part of where the Jaz E Kidz, the nonprofit part comes into play, because I want to have a community where parents can come and have resources there. Feel comfortable with asking questions. Like if you don't know and you don't ask, you won't know. But it's even harder to advocate for them if you are letting like a teacher say this or a doctor say this. Y- You have to advocate for them. Like, and I
Yeah.
can express advocating because you have to do that. If they are in school, ask them about an IEP, which is a individualized educational plan. What that does is help to set goals that the child then can reach. If it's a reading, if it's therapy, if it's speech, whatever the case may be, know your rights in order to get the services for them.
Yeah. Do you find
Don't
it
be
that it
embarrassed.
do you find it that it's like some parents find it easier to just be able to be like, okay, let me give this person a tablet, or let me do this because they don't want to deal with the kid?
100%. It's easy. Because what? First of all, depending on it, and I don't want to be misquoted, but from what I know, there's like seven. So there's three different breakdowns of ADHD, but there's seven characteristics, and it might be more. But yes, it's easier to do that because do you want a kid to keep coming to you? Mommy, mommy, daddy. No, here, take this and go about your business. And now they're just there.
Yeah.
and they just zoned out instead of taking the time. Like, you have to be kind of like on a kid. You have to adjust to the kid. You can't expect the kid to adjust to you. This is their norm, not
Hmm.
the other way around. And the goal is to have tools. Like, for example, if Jaquan was in a school and every day I just got bad everything, it was a bad call every day. He's doing this, he's doing that, he's running, he's eloping, he's not listening. And every meeting, every phone call, I was just like, you know what, at this point, I might have to homeschool him because I don't know what to do. And then I asked one day, what are y'all telling him to do? If he's acting up, call me, FaceTime me. I will walk him through it. And they did. And what was going on was they were given too many directions. You can't do that with a kid or a person when the attention capacity is short. And what I listened to the lady do was I said, well, what is it that you want him to do? But what is it he's doing? Well, he's on the beanbag. I want him to read first and then he could take a break. I said, okay, show me. She calls him over, and this is, I kid you not, she said, I need you to read this, then you're gonna do this, then you're gonna do this, then you're gonna do that. I said, hold on, ma'am, you've given him too many instructions. I
Right.
need you to tell him what he needs to do first, and then he needs to know the instruction, and then what does he get from there? If you read this first page, you can take a break and then come back and read the second page.
Hmm.
So then it starts to make sense. He's not being disruptive or bad. You have to figure out what's going on. And the deliverance was bad. So I'm literally taking the information that I'm doing at work and now educating the educators at his school on how to handle him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now I'm
So
doing three jobs.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm mom, I'm educating from afar to educate you guys.
But that's like a researcher, making sure that everybody has the right information. You gathering it, you doing your research. You know what I'm saying? Like, and what's really cool about it is that you're not letting the kid think that the diagnosis is who he is, and that's what I like about what you got going on with the whole ADHD and how you play with those words. So talk about how you even came up with that and how you were playing with those words to get that, because like what you just said is really important. That you know sometimes when we hear that a kid has a diagnosis, we're ready to write them off automatically, and instead of being able to hold them to the standards that can be set, not allowing them to be able to have certain structures or certain things. And then it's like, like even I could say for me, my experiences of being around Jaquan or being around, it's like these is nothing wrong with these kids. They're just and they be really, really good at what they know. They really good at what they know. You know what I'm saying? Like they are like masters at what they know. So I want you to talk about how you came up with, like you said, the ADHD, and then also how those characters are like super good at what they know, like how these kids are. Talk about that a little bit.
So I the name came up, I think in 2021, during a time like where I was doing like trading, and one of the mentors, I had no idea. One of the mentors was talking to me about another person I was trading, and she said, Jazzy, she's not gonna come to you, but I think you should talk to her. And I'm like, okay, you know what's going on? She says she has sons, she doesn't know what to do, she's going through it, and I think they have the same thing that your child has. I was like, okay, reached out to her. She's in boohoo tears. And her child was younger than Jaquan at that time. So what she was going through, I had literally just went through it. So talking to her, and when I tell you she was crying, I was like, "Girl, we not calling them ADHD. Da da da. We about to change the narrative to this, this, and this." And it was authentically dope-hearted dudes and dudes and daughters at that time. We changed it recently with this time to divas. Um, and she just started laughing. And it's crazy because I lost the name a year later and I don't know what happened. And then it came back to me one day and I put it in a phone. I was like, this has to happen. And I left it like that. And the way that I came up with it, because we are all authentically different for a reason. We are all different. And that's what makes each person special. If we were all the same, that's kind of boring. And then, dude, I, I think we're dope. They
Right.
have big hearts no matter what they do. They have the kids I come across are once you get past the diagnosis or the disability or the problem, if you listen to a child that has a diagnosis, you get more up out of them. They are caring no matter what it is. If you talk to them, I've come across the sweetest little kids. Have I had to put some in restraint? Yes. But at the end of the day, you have that rapport with them. And then, of course, I didn't want them to be, give them something cool. Give them a little diva, a little dude, had a little pizzazz that they have. So within the cartoon, so these are two personal characters. Jay, which is Jaquan, Morley, which is my little cousin Zamora, who has ADHD. She's younger. We kind of saw the similarities in her, that Jaquan carried some of and then we have Tim, KP, and Laura. Those were kind of like, I'm like, hey Eric, I need some more kids. Whatever you do, I ain't got no more pictures. I don't know, I don't know no more kids.
Right. Right.
When he
Right.
came, when he came back with the pictures, I knew Jaquan's what his was. So he's more hyper. His mind doesn't stay on one. It's kind of like Flash, like he moves. So that's his character his superpower is his mind goes off, but he knows what to do in that fast pace. Zamora Morley, she's very loving, very gentle, very caring. She wants to help. So that's where that came from. KP. So this is where I started to have to go back into all my years of teaching. There was this one kid that stuck out, and I had him as a little. We call him little, so like Head Start kindergarten. Back then, he was good with numbers. You can give him any math problem at a kindergarten age.
And kill it.
He knew it. He knew it. I saw him later in life at the last school I worked at and got to see him graduate out at 18. And he
Mm.
still knew numbers.
Mm.
Laura, she's the one that asks a lot of questions. Asks a lot of questions, very curious. Well, not in a bad way. She's just very curious to help problem solve. Well, why this? Well, why does this happen? Questions.
Right.
Tim, he's the jokester. So even if you're feeling down or sad, he's gonna do something to make you laugh. So when I say dope hearted, this is what I mean behind it.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. That's
They
dope.
are they are like that, but it took me back to like which kids stuck out to me to then give those characters those kind of superpowers.
Well, look, let's do this then. Let's show the trailer of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited to be able to show this joint. We got ready to show this joint off. So let's see what you're talking about with this stuff. So let's get it.
City that moves fast.
Hold on, let's do this. Let's take us off of the screen. There you go.
In a city that moves fast and sometimes feels overwhelming. 5 extraordinary kids are learning that being different can be the greatest superpower of all. Jay, the lightning leader, focused, fierce, and full of electric energy. When the world gets chaotic, Jay lights the way. Maura Lee, the heart that heals. With kindness stronger than steel and heart waves that calm any storm. She reminds everyone that big feelings are superpowers too. Tim, the comedy hero. Fast feet, quick wit, and laughter that breaks through any darkness. Tim proves that joy is a force all its own. KP, the math genius. Numbers, patterns, equations. KP sees solutions before problems even begin. And Laura, the question queen. Curiosity is her power, and no mystery stays hidden for long. Her questions unlock the truth, one spark at a time. They're brave, they're brilliant, they're authentically themselves. Together, they are the dope-hearted dudes and divas.
Okay. That's super dope. That's super dope. I'm digging it. I could dig it. Love the concept. Love the clarity. Love everything that's going on about this piece, you know. But seriously, honestly, for real, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is dope, you know what I'm saying? As far as like how you came up with the concept of everything. And I just, you know, it's super dope to be able to see somebody's idea come to life, right? Like I've heard you talk about this for like years and what you've been wanting to be able to do. And to see it come to life is really cool. And to be a part of it is really cool. So you know, shout out to you. Thank you for allowing, you know, Pop Boiler Media and myself to be a part of this situation, because this is super dope. I think you're gonna touch a lot of people with this message. And also, like, you know, also explain how your son is involved in this and how this even came about. Like, you know what I'm saying, with what he's doing too, that which made it even more cooler.
So, yeah, from even trying to do it in 2022, I think 2023, we created a store. He just everything. Mommy, you think you can put this on a sock? You think you could put it here? Well, what the kids want to do? Well, maybe they should. And I'm just like, okay. And then now mommy's like, okay, let me see what I can do. Like, can this really happen? And yes, it can. But also at the same time, showing him that no matter what, and this is something that I'm very, very big on. And coming from a person myself who had an IEP from elementary school through high school, and at one point in writing was told that I wouldn't be able to have a normal life. I wouldn't be able to have a family. I wouldn't be able to do anything if I didn't have like a coach or something through it. So I took that, and I don't let that be a crutch for me. And I never let that be a crutch for the students that I work with, nor my children, because you can do anything you put your mind to. I'm living proof of it, and it just keeps flowing. God first, and if you're spiritual, you believe in God, let it lead you to it, because the timing sometimes is not right. And it's just hilarious. I was with Jaquan and I said, I'm sitting here creating you a cartoon. This dude is sitting here creating a cartoon in front of my eyes.
Right.
Like, he has his own YouTube channel. He does all this stuff on Roblox, and Sonic is just flipping and talking and doing all this stuff. So this is what I mean when I say it. I'm not just it's real personal from the heart. You have to put in the time and the work to help support these kids. Stop looking at them as just, don't throw them away. Don't throw them away is all I'm saying. Don't throw them away. And it's easy to be said. I didn't have a me to help him. Like, I'm here to help you guys. This is why I'm doing it. Building a community group where people can go to. I'm so happy of the clips that we have been putting out and the feedback that you guys have given, even adults. I haven't come across people that was like, hey, that was me. So it's really
Yeah.
opening my eyes to a whole nother lane, like, oh, okay, this is bigger than just the kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just dope. Oh, well, thanks, Danny. JM Morley are my kind of peeps too. Um, So it's just been real fun, real cool, but very intentional on what it is.
Yeah.
Very like I tell you all the time, when it comes to this, I'm not you don't know me. Because it hits in a different it hits in a different type of light, and not just the parts I explained. Like it's a lot of work. I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot of work. And you as an adult have to be in a mental space to do it, which is why I say to help parents, um, because it can get draining. It can get tiring. You can just throw them off, put them in front of the TV or put them in front of the tablet, computer, whatever, phone. You can, but you miss out on these kind of gems.
Yeah, for sure. To be able to allow them to be able to actually grow as people. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's really important with what you're doing, and the things that you plan on being able to do down the road, like, helping create kids who may have things that can be able to create certain things that they want to be able to do to hook up with you. And I believe in that, because we can't just throw our children away. Like, people think that people are recyclable. They're just, you could just throw people away and it doesn't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? And I think this is just really a great outreach to be able to have, where we're not just throwing our children away. So thank you for, like, really going after your dream. Like, stay there with it, because that really is something that's really going to open up a lot of people's eyes. um and Pot Boiler Connect, we here to be able to help, with anything we could be able to help with, far as like, if your kids are wanting to learn how to be able to create and do different things and stuff like that, we are definitely here. And also learning, from my Jesna, how to deal with parents that may have children that may be creative in this space, and maybe needing to know how to be able to hook those tools up. So, my Jesna, why don't you tell people where they could be able to go, put your QR code up here and put the website in, and also that you're trying to build funds up for this thing.
Yes. So you can go to this is where to go? Oh, right there. So I didn't want to tickler, but whatever. So to get information, you can go to ADHD3.com, and that will give you more about the program, more about the nonprofit and how we're building. So what the donations are needed for. So I don't have the QR code, but I have it down here at the bottom. So right now we have the Cash App because legal purposes of things. If you would like to donate to help with the process of the program, which is to make sure the non for profit is legally accredited, um, it's a lot that goes into what it is that's needed as far as trademarking for everything, not just a cartoon, but merch. If y'all know me out there, I am that mama who will buy the backpack, the water bottle, the t-shirt, the hoodie, all of that stuff. And what you guys don't see on the back end is all of creativity for that, but we need to make sure it is secured, so we can continue to do this. The community groups is to help you guys with having support across the board. I can't stress the emphasis of having the support. A lot of you, I asked a question and you guys definitely responded. I did that for a reason. I need to know who's out there and who I'm able to help across the board. If there's any organizations out there already doing something similar and would like to team up or give me any feedback on how we can do this, um, how you may have done it to help me along the way, please let me know. But this is pretty much where you can get the information. The donation button, like I said, please go to Cash App, and it's Jazzy Kids, JAZEKIDZ, where you can start to send the donations. And along the way, you guys will see this thing build from the bottom to the top and where it is going to be. So make sure you share, tag a friend, tell a friend. Um, share your story. I do see this pretty cool. The donations definitely will have a spot where your name is on our wall, which I'm excited about. And if y'all get any kids out there who are like Jay, Morley, Laura, KP, and Tim, make sure y'all follow us on Facebook, Instagram, where we at, YouTube, TikTok, Jaz E Kidz, across the board. And I think on TikTok is ADHD3. And I'll drop those inside the comments for you guys. But that's our story. Y'all can learn more about us. Like I said, go to ADHD3.com. And for any donations, go to Cash App, $Jaz E Kidz. Oh, that is so cute. Yeah, so I'm excited. Y'all, thank y'all.
No doubt, no doubt. You know, we could not have you on this show. You know what I'm saying? We could not have you here. We got to have you here first. We got to be able to say we had you here first. If nobody can do it, we got to be able to do it. So just want to really like for real though, like
Boiler in the building.
yeah, you know, Pop Boy will always get the exclusive first. You know what I'm saying? We got the drop before it's a drop. You know what I'm saying? So just always remember where you did your first podcast at, and you know what I'm saying? Always remember that. And so with that being said, you know, is it anything else that you want to be able to leave behind or anything else?
So I'm answering questions, Danny. So no, there is not any premiere dates because of everything that has to get done. But what we are doing, we are dropping content for the characters.
Yeah.
So while we build up, there's no premiere date. Everything has to go through the process of with how you have to present to get approvals for things like this. It's definitely a process. But everyone who donates and, you know, just we will continue to share the information as everything gets cleared for us to do so. So it could take, depending on how fast this goes, it can take longer, it can take shorter. But definitely got to go through those process of. So yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And,
You
and
do
don't- check out the website, but remember to Cash App the donation.
absolutely. You know what I'm
So
saying? So hey, my Jasmine, with that said, it was a pleasure being able to have you. Thank you so much for being able to. We're gonna play this video again because you know what I'm saying we
yeah,
want
and can you make a widescreen? Because it was still giving a little. We got to give them
well,
like
so it can't be the widescreen because the widescreen is the widescreen I think this one is already made in real style. So you can't
Oh,
widescreen it.
okay.
Yeah. But
Just follow us and y'all will continue to see it because it's so dope and it's so clean. Oh, hold on. I gotta thank you guys. Like, thank y'all so much. And I don't know if I should thank y'all, but y'all have really been pouring back into me with this. Thank you for sharing y'all stories. A lot of people that I know, I did not know that their child had it or that they had anything. And I do want to make note because I got feedback like, don't forget about the kids with autism. They're not forgotten about, but there's more information and resources on autism than it is on ADHD, where sometimes people don't know that they child have it. So it's for the neurodiverse altogether. But that was my disclaimer. Thank you for doing this with me.
absolutely.
I was on a struggle bus.
Absolutely. Let's get it.
Appreciate you, Pimp, as always. And yeah,
Yeah,
this
for
has been
sure.
a
Let's
Pop
do it.
Buller podcasting with Pop Buller exclusive of Jaz E Kidz and authentically dope-hearted dudes and divas.
Let's go. Let's add this to the stage.
City that moves fast and sometimes feels overwhelming. 5 extraordinary kids are learning that being different can be the greatest superpower of all. Jay, the lightning leader, focused, fierce, and full of electric energy. When the world gets chaotic, Jay lights the way. Maura Lee, the heart that heals. With kindness stronger than steel and heart waves that calm any storm, she reminds everyone that big feelings are superpowers too. Tim, the comedy hero. Fast feet, quick wit, and laughter that breaks through any darkness. Tim proves that joy is a force all its own. KP, the math genius. Numbers, patterns, equations. KP sees solutions before problems even begin. And Laura, the question queen. Curiosity is her power, and no mystery stays hidden for long. Her questions unlock the truth, one spark at a time. They're brave, they're brilliant, they're authentically themselves. Together, they are the dope-hearted dudes and divas.
Pot Boiler Connect.